This particular saw mounted to its original mobile base with 4 bolts in each corner, 1 in each corner, and I think I can get away with just using a drywall screw in each corner and a couple washers. This is really heavy. It's pretty much solid and sturdy the way it is. I don't think it's going to move much at all if it does. And I think I'm going to try these drywall screws and a couple washers. If it doesn't work out, then I can always change it later. But for right now, I think for these 1 in each corner, I think that's going to be just fine. Time to take this back cover off and really seal this off, make this dust collection really suck. No pun intended. Alright, right in the back of this thing, excuse me. Alright, right in the back of this thing, we've got a blade shroud with a dust port on the back, which, I mean, this is a good idea, but it was horribly executed if you ask me. Let me grab this camera real quick. It's horribly executed if you ask me. This is, you can see a dust shroud and this port, and if you can see, it's cut right in half by this aluminum trunnion assembly. Cut right in half, so really you're only exhausting that much air. And you know, it did a decent job. It actually really did rather well, but I don't understand why you couldn't have just moved the hose just a little bit over to one side, because you see they tapered it back to the right here. I don't know, maybe because it hit this when it was fully at 45 degrees. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's just half-assed a little bit from engineering. Could be missing the picture here, but I didn't really care for that. Did a good job, but it could have been better. But anyway, let me move this light. Anyway, I'm going to remove this dust shroud. It's just a pan that connects all this together. There's still going to be a shelf on the bottom and on the front and also on the back. You'll be able to see it a little bit better once I get it off, but it's going to be a lot better, and I will seal up all these seams. I'm going to take my shop vac and clean up all this stuff. While I'm at it, I'm going to re-grease all the gears, clean this thing up pretty good, and seal up as best as I can around the bottom, around the side, on these screw holes, all these pillars on the back. The front, I'm going to use some magnets from the front side. That back plate, I'm going to tape that off on both sides. It's going to look ugly, but it'll do the job. And I think the right side, if you're on the front, and the back side, I'm going to come up underneath this table and shove some foam in here. But I want to leave this side open. That way, if there's not enough air suction from the blade, I can still get some air coming over here, down around the motor area, and down this way. So I want to keep airflow going through the motor. I don't want this to burn up. I really don't think that's necessary, but I'd rather take the precautions. So anyway, I got some cleaning up to do. Alright, so here's a good look at the inside of the cabinet with the shroud off. Way too many areas to seal off. What I'm going to do, I've already got some tape put down on the bottom, but I can't reach most of that stuff on the outside, or over there on the back. So what I'm going to do is probably come on the outside, just put one row of tape all the way across. It's not going to look the greatest, but it's going to be efficient. So yeah, that's the old dust shroud removed. Alright, so here it is. I think I've got $43 invested in the base. Most of that was these casters. They lock pretty well. If you're familiar with this particular table saw, or the rigid, or the old Hitachi, that mobile base was a pain in the butt to lift up and slam back down. You know, you could get around it by picking up the machine, but man, that got old quick. So having it it's fairly easy to move around now. That's a huge it's a huge benefit from before. Let's see, the dust collection. I've got a port and a nice platform for my future router upgrade. The piping is already done. I've got a blast gate down there to turn this particular port on and off. It comes out via a 45-degree elbow on one side that I can just slip my Harbor Freight hose right into it, and it's pretty darn snug, so I don't have to clamp it or anything. That's really good. I've already made a couple test cuts. That's awesome. One thing, the only thing I've noticed that may be a disadvantage is my push button. I've gotten used to kicking it with my knee, and that may or may not be in the way as far as me being able to access that. I don't know. But this thing is well worth doing if you've got this saw, I think, and have a dust collector. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get my lift built, and I'm excited to get this thing some pretty good use. One of the disadvantages a lot of people are probably going to say is there's no storage down there. That's pretty much because I don't need storage. I've got, I don't know, maybe 24 cabinets in the shop, so storage isn't an issue. I didn't have storage before, so that's no problem. It's all half-lap joints. It's very strong, very sturdy. I'm excited. So anyway, if you've been following along, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you like what you see, and you guys have a good day.